Hello, future bestsellers. We are super, super excited to see you today. As occasionally happens, we were deeply embroiled in a discussion about names just prior to the stream going live, and so we were talking about the fact. Well, I'll just catch you guys up. We were talking about the fact that all three of us, Lisa, Michelle, Robert, have among the most common names for babies. And in particular, well, probably all three of us. Robert, were there like multiple Roberts in your classes when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Michelle and I both had like multiples of our name. Here's what I want to know. Michelle, did you ever have a best friend named Lisa? I will tell you, one of my best friends was named Michelle.
I did in high school.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, same time. But one of my best friends was Michelle, and then I also always had at least one Lisa in my friend group. Of the people that
Yeah,
I would consider my best friend, like my 10 best friends, there are two Lisas in addition to myself.
that's funny.
So, what about speaking of names, let's introduce ourselves, shall we? Transition. Robert, we're going to start with you. Tell us a little about you, your awesome channel, and that's it.
Well, my name is Robert Jones, the second most popular name, I believe, in the country, possibly the world. And my channel is The Story Detective, which is unique in the fact that I put information on various forms of storytelling under a Sherlockian microscope and break down the craft in ways that will make your journey so much easier. You need to subscribe.
Oh, that was just deft, Robert. Like it was just that was a spectacular example of yeah, that was great. Michelle, tell us all about you and your awesome channel.
All right, I'm Michelle Schusterman. I write middle grade and young adult novels, and my channel is Writing Workshops, Traditional Publishing Chat, and Writing Blogs.
Welcome, both of you. I am Lisa Daly. I am I'm a hybrid author, some part traditionally published, part indie published, and I write contemporary romance and self help. Do you guys know that? So, if I ask you what is a hybrid author, what would you say?
As someone who's traditionally and self-published,
Yeah, that's what I was, right? Well, another author I know who is a like big like six-figure author, indie author is considers herself hybrid and but she's all indie published. And her definition of hybrid, which is a common definition apparently in indie circles, which is new to me, is having some of your books wide and some of your books all in Kindle Unlimited. And I thought that was really
yeah,
interesting.
that is
So
interesting.
I have a question for the chat today. When you think of the word or the words hybrid author, what what are you thinking of? Are you thinking traditionally an indie published, or are you thinking both wide and KU for an indie author? Tell. Do tell. So let's say hi to our friends in the chat. Devin is here. Hello, Devin. We are super glad to see you today. I think our notifications may not have happened today. We have kind of a smaller crowd than we normally start with. We're all very happy that you're here. I'm just I think we'll end up with more sort of late tricklers as they figure that they did not get the notification. Daisy's here. Hello, Daisy. Very, very nice to see you. Comet's here. Hello, Comet. Welcome to the stream. We are very glad to see you today. Miss Texas G, good morning. We're super happy that you are here today. Avi's here. Avi says I was friend with multiple Lisas, Michelle's, and Roberts but I was the only Avion, and that's how I liked it. So I love that. I really love it. And my kids' names are pretty were sort of unique. But one of them kind of became I'm not going to say what they are. One of them kind of became more popular, but I as a person, like it's sort of core to my identity that I need to be different than other people. And I'm not, so having a name that's similar or not similar, the same as a bunch of other people in my peer group. Was never fun for me. My mother was the same way though. She had her name was a really common name, and so she went by her middle name, Jan, which is not such a common name. But yeah, so I can see that. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just wondering, like, if you have a common name, would you rather have a more original name? I guess that's what pen names are for, right? We could all be, Blakely Morningstar if we want to. Yeah. Okay. All right. Daisy says when she's thinking hybrid, she's thinking trad and self-publish. Lainey, good morning. Hybrid to me means part indie, part trad. Avi. Okay, so everybody's kind of on the same page with me. I completely see why hybrid is a really good fit when you're talking about, using different distribution models. But yeah, I was like, is that a thing? I hadn't heard of it before. Hello, Cool Gamer, or as Cool Gamer likes to say, hey. All right. Daisy says, I don't even know what wide versus unlimited means. Okay, so when you are an indie author, if you publish wide, that means that you have your ebooks and paper books distributed to a wide number of like bookstores. Like, so you're not just going to be on Amazon, you're going to be on Barnes and Noble. You're probably distributed through like Ingram Spark, but you are not exclusive to Amazon. And Kindle Unlimited is that you've decided to be exclusive to Amazon, either permanently as part of a strategy or, for a couple of 3 months as part of a launch strategy, because you do get like an algorithm boost and things like that from being exclusive to Amazon. However, it's kind of scary to have all your eggs in one basket. So that's the difference. So authors who are wide are authors who publish on as many platforms as they can, and offers that are KU or Kindle Unlimited just publish on Amazon. Okay. Miss Texas G, trad and okay, so I wasn't crazy when I was like, all right, good. Leah's here. Hello, Leah. Very nice to see you. Always think of hybrid as trad and indie. Hadn't heard of the wide and KU, but it's interesting, right? That's what I thought. Like, it's interesting, and also you can totally see how that like completely fits. So. All right. We were talking about names earlier and how we all have super, super common. I mean, Lisa Daly is like the most. If you ask ChatGPT to come up with a white lady name, that would be it. Like, it's just so like bland and boring and
Not bland or boring.
It is too. It's the wonder bread of names. It is easy to remember, but yeah, it's pretty boring. Okay. Oh, my middle name was also rare at the time in the 80s and 90s, Siobhan, but now it's more popular, which is why I say, oh, that makes sense. I always liked that. The spelling always got me, but I always liked the name Siobhan. Miss Texas G. Ooh, okay. Miss Texas G, one of my mother's best friends, weirdly enough, is a nun from Africa who was in the States while my mom ran an early childhood development center. And she was like, she's not sort of interning, but she was learning so that she could go back and open all these schools in Africa. And her name is Germaine. And I have like, she was just like such a lovely part of my childhood that I have like so many positive feelings and Germaine is it's a pretty unusual name, but Miss Texas G, there's not going to be any way now where I'm not going to see your name and go, oh, because I love Sister Germaine so much. You're so sweet. Right? I had to overcome my name, my terrible, boring name. Grandpa Baggins. I've always hated my name because half the people say it or spell it wrong. It's Jeremy, not Jeremy.
Who says Jeremy?
Oh, is it like maybe an accent thing? Like maybe it's like a regional thing where people would say Jeremy versus Jeremy. Jeremy, we're going to be very good about saying your name correctly. All right, here we go. Regina, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. We are super glad to see you today. Maz, my first name is Irish and quite tricky for people, so I usually just go by Maz. It's a nice name, though. I did. Love that. Love that. Story did. Oh my gosh! Right?
That's
This is
gonna be it.
time
Yeah.
changing, and I thought, oh yeah, time did change.
I had one of my clients lives in one of my book coaching clients lives in Arizona, and this week we're meeting on Monday, which we normally don't, but we were meeting on Monday, and I was like, "Can you please tell me, are you Pacific time or because I know it changes halfway, like because they don't do daylight savings time, and so I could not remember if she was Pacific or Mountain time because I could never remember which side of the thing we're on." And so half the year we're 2 hours difference and the other half of the year we're 3 hours difference. I'm not a fan of daylight savings.
No.
Ours hasn't yet in Britain. Yep. That's weird. I had no idea that. So for some reason I thought the entire world united on daylight savings. Is that it doesn't switch in other countries at the same time?
No.
Then I bet there are other countries like Arizona, not a country, but places that where they just opt out. I think I would like to move to one of those places. I
Yeah,
don't
right.
care, right? I don't care which one they pick. I'm just like pick one, that's it. We don't want to hear anymore. It's so bad for you. I could go on for days, but I think that would be really boring. And so let's go ahead and do our first 5-minute sprint. We are going to do our little warm up. And then when we come back, we will talk about what we are all going to be working on today. So let me get that up. Did I get it up? No, I did not. Let's try this again. Oh, no. All right, there we go. Okay. Here we go, everybody. We are going to get started with our sprints in 3, 2, 1. See you when we come back. I should probably unmute, huh? All right. Very nice, everybody. So, oh, it just decided to go all by itself. So, how'd everybody do on our little warm up sprint? Let us know in the chat. Our first question of the day, as always, is what are you working on today? So, let us know in the chat what you are planning on working on today. Let's start with you guys, Robert and Michelle.
It's such a common name, Lisa.
I just had like that, like it's not just you guys. I'm just having that kind of day today. Anyway, so Robert and Michelle, whose names I know very well, what are you guys working on today?
I'm working on my books, and I have a call with a client in a couple hours, so I'm kind of prepping for that too.
Excellent, fantastic. How about you, Robert? What are you going to be working on today?
I'm still editing this draft of my novel and moving along. Thank goodness. We'll be finished with this hopefully in time that I can put it away in April and then do a read through and look for those beta readers in May. That's the plan. Hopefully it goes off on time.
Excellent. I am working on editing of one of my projects, so I am very happy to be in that phase because I do love the wordsmithing part. So I'm super excited about that. Let's check over on the comments and let's see what's going on with that. So, Robin says, we're going back to the name thing. I never had anyone in class with the same name until college, but I was always sad that I couldn't find my name on keychains, especially with the right spelling. Right? Or those little license plates when you're a kid. Yeah, my name was always there, but it was always empty because of all the other Lisas who had already gotten a keychain before me. So I feel your pain, Robin. I can definitely feel it. Ma says ours changes the last Sunday in October and the last Sunday in March. Oh, well, that seems very orderly. Regina. Michelle, loving your shorts about adventures with Rosa.
Thank you.
She's a star.
She is.
Devin says the unisex name is aggravating us. They want to argue on what your name is. Oh, that is very frustrating. Yeah, I feel that. Oh, my wife LaShawn has had the same problem. Never any merch with her name on it. She also tends to get mail with Mr. and her birth certificate was mislabeled. Oh no. So she's already having some challenges with that. Where in the world is Michelle Schusterman? Where are we today, Michelle?
We are in Santa Barbara, California.
Yay! I love Santa Barbara. So beautiful.
Great. Oh my gosh.
It really
vibes.
Yeah, it really does have great vibes. Did you guys ever watch that show Psych when it was popular?
I heard of it, but I didn't watch it.
So it's set in Santa Barbara, which there are two things about that. One, I always thought that they did, even though I think most of the show was shot in like Canada or something, like many shows are, I thought that they did like a really nice job of sort of capturing the vibe of Santa Barbara. And also, Santa Barbara is not so big where they should be having a murder every week and people are not alarmed.
Seriously.
So just those are my thoughts. Krista is working on her outline today. Nice. Very, very good job. Leah is going to be sending out some queries after having rewritten the end of a pitch as a duology. Nice. DC wants to know, does anybody know of a 9 a.m. Eastern daily sprint? Devin has a list of all the sprints that happen. I'm trying to track that down and drop the link in the chat when we have our next sprint. Avi is going to be working on client work while brainstorming what project she'll be doing for Camp Nano. Great. Very nice. Blair was never there. Oh my gosh. Can I say I really wanted my name to be Blair? Because you guys remember there was something about, I think there were two different shows. One, The Facts of Life, which is a very old show, but it was on in syndication when I was a kid. Yep. And so it was like one of those like afternoon shows that my mother was like, are you watching that? But there was a character on there named Blair, and she was always very self-assured.
Yes.
And right. And And then there was some other character named Blair. I always thought that was like such a glamorous name. You are
It
so
is.
lucky, Texas G. All right. Baz could never, right? My sister could have the pretty headbands, but not mine. I feel
Oh.
you. Midsummer Murder.
I have not watched that. Is that good? Is this a recommendation? I'm curious because I do watch Murdoch Mysteries, which is another Canadian murder show.
Love that.
On for like, I think it's literally in like 18 seasons or something. It's crazy.
Oh my God. That's
like
crazy.
so far.
Yeah. Regina, so true. Gloriously beautiful, so laid back. Love, 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 love. This is fantastic. Let's see. Working on Dystopian Trilogy today. Yay. Thanks for doing
Ooh.
these lives. Let's see. Comment working on first draft nonfiction book or a novel.
Mm.
That looks like a typo. So is it nonfiction like self-help or memoir, or is it a novel like a romance or fantasy or dystopian? Give us details. Give us
Yeah.
some details. We want to know. All right. Ninja Writers has a 9 or 10 a.m. sprint on YouTube. Sorry, I'm terrible at converting. I feel ya. Right? I think it's so fun. Oh, yes. There is something kind of fabulous about a J name.
Mhm.
Midsummer Murders. Ooh, so feel good. Love that. Book. Got it. Okay. Fantastic, everybody. Let's Avi says, love the Murdoch Mysteries too, Michelle. George Crabtree is my
Oh my
spirit
God.
animal.
Not the best character. He's
I
so
love-
great. I love him.
I love that. I love when you like get when you like just feel it so much for a character. Love,
Yes.
love, love that feeling. Like on one hand, you're like, oh, I want people to feel that way about my characters. And on
Yes.
the other hand, there's just something as like a reader or a viewer that's so magical when you just so heavily identify with a person who isn't real. That's amazing to me.
Yes.
Like that just came out of somebody's imagination. All right, let's go ahead and do our first 20-minute sprint. And when we come back, we are going to answer some questions. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we will answer the ones that I have collected over the last. Actually, I think I've got 2 weeks worth of questions because we were off last week because of the migraine. All right, here we go. We are going to get started with our first 20-minute sprint starting in 3, 2, 1. You're awesome. Write something awesome. I couldn't get back. I was like, where's the right screen? What am I doing? All right, hold on one second here. Let me just grab this timer to make sure it doesn't just go away. All right, fantastic. So the first question that I wanted to talk about was actually something that that I had seen on Reddit, and it only had one answer, and it was not. I did not think it was a good one, so I wanted to talk about this first one. This one right here. Okay. So the question is, Amazon won't let me reclaim my book. Several years ago, my friend, quote, helped me put up a short story collection for sale on Amazon. She was trying to be a promoter. She thought it would be, I'm going to just go through it quickly. She thought it would be mutually beneficial, but it didn't sell well. The friend admitted she didn't actually like the book and didn't really do anything about it. But unfortunately, her book is listed under her friend's account, and she can't get control of it back. She said her ex-friend made some feeble attempts to get the book back, but unfortunately, the original KDP account is tied to an old email account that she can't have access to. So she's ready to publish a different book now, but she also wants to cross promote with her old book, and she doesn't have any control over it, and all the money goes to her friend.
Wow, that's infuriating.
It is. So
Oh my
she said she'd ask Amazon to delete the book so I can start over. They're still stuck with needing verification from a dead email. How can I escalate this and proceed? So
Wow.
it's actually not as it's not as bad as you would think. This is actually a really common problem, especially with people who are traditionally published, that a lot of times what happens is you sell your book rights, and maybe that company, maybe it's a small publisher and they go out of business, or they or they just I had a Brazilian publisher that published my book but never paid me the advance, and like there have been all sorts of problems. But this problem with Amazon is actually easier to fix than you'd think, and it's going to be the same procedure whether you traditionally publish the book first and now you're going to indie publish it, or if somebody else published the book and now you're going to publish it because you own the rights to it, or a variety of other scenarios. So the one person who responded with a solution told them to basically have the friend write a letter that said that the rights had reverted back to her and issue Amazon with like a copyright takedown notice. I think that's a bit aggressive, and it's not, you don't need to do that. So let me tell you what you do need to do. And if you guys want to jump in on this, feel free, or anybody in the chat. Okay.
It's fascinating.
If it ever happens to you, it's important to know how to fix it. So for whatever reasons, let's say somebody else on either their KDP account or a traditional publisher or even an indie publisher has your book somewhere else, but you do in fact own the rights to that book. So with the friend, she was not a publisher. They didn't pay. She's the original poster still has the rights to the book. And so in that case, what you would do is republish the book on Amazon using your own ISBN number, or either the one Amazon provides if you decide to do that, or if you have a publishing company, even an indie publishing company, and you've purchased your ISBN numbers from Bowker, you're going to assign one there, right? So then you're going to let Amazon know through the KDP dashboard that there is a previous edition of the book, and that book is no longer in print, whether it's the ebook or the paper book or both. But you're going to ask them to combine the listings so that they won't sell the old book anymore, but that you will get all of your reviews. Because the one thing you don't want to do is just ask them to do a takedown of even if it has 5 reviews, that's 5 more than your new version will have. and it might have 100 reviews or 500 reviews. And so the last thing you want to do is lose those reviews. And if you ask them for a takedown and then put up a brand new book, there's a much stronger possibility that you're going to lose those. But it feels like this idea of, oh, can I get the KDP account transferred over? That's a giant pain in the neck. And he has been down this rabbit hole trying to, with the dead email, blah, blah, blah. Just avoid all that. Like, assume that that's abandoned. Let Amazon know that you are that you have the rights, that you're the publisher of the book, and that the old book is out of print. And can they please combine the listings? And I have done this multiple times, both on Amazon UK. Like, personally, I've done it multiple times for my own books, but I've also assisted with client books when I worked for the trad publisher, or just regular, just clients that I have now who have had that problem. So that is the way to solve it.
Very smart.
Thanks. So anybody else have anything that they would like to drop in? I think I know we've got some other ones. Ashley says, "Yike, that's scary. I hope they get that resolved." I do too. There's nothing more frustrating than having a book that is yours. And it's funny. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, just reading that incident got my blood pressure up. I was like,
I know. Right? Well, and that's like the friend. Well, and you can see sometimes that have some small publishers will, will essentially put your book on their sort of KDP site. Like, very small publishers will, use KDP, the KDP dashboard to publish your book. And it's tough if you get your rights back, or if you end up in some sort of a shady situation. I had, for years, had agents try to get my rights back from the Brazilian, not my rights back, get my money from the Brazilian publisher, and that was publishing my book and had not paid my advance or any royalties or anything. They basically just took the book. And it was so frustrating. But I talked with another author, actually with Sherry Argoff, who was the author of Why Men Love Bitches. I don't know. I'm not even sure how we ended up on the phone. We literally have only spoken that one. We've met at conferences, but we'd only spoken the one time. And she was like, they didn't pay you. They don't own it. Just publish it. Just republish it somewhere else or sell it to another publisher. But basically, screw them. They didn't pay you, so they've not fulfilled the contract. Just do it. So
I have one scary thought, and hopefully they get the book copyrighted under their name, since the friend is the one that put it up. But
yeah,
what's to stop people in self-publishing from just taking somebody's book and republishing it and saying, this is my book and it's the new copy, give me all those reviews.
Give me all those reviews and rights. Thanks, Robert. Now nobody's gonna sleep tonight. I don't know. I don't know the solution. I mean, I guess then you would go back to Amazon and say, hey, someone has just hijacked my book, which has been a problem. They certainly had that. So in that case, you'd have to deal with Amazon, and then you'd have to prove that you were in fact the copyright holder.
Yeah, copyright those books, people.
Yeah, right. So that is something that's important. It's only nominally very inexpensive. I think I can't remember if it was $20. Oh, it's really inexpensive.
Like 40 or 45.
45. Okay. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not very much money, but it will protect you in the event that someone tries to take your work. So get that copyright filed. And it's you can just go on the the U.S. government's copyright website, which I could do. And you know what else? I was also going to drop a link in the chat, and I don't remember what it was. So I'll do that on the next sprint. What was the other link I was going to drop? Does anybody remember?
No.
All right.
Sorry.
It's okay. If somebody wants whatever link I promise, if everyone's like, we don't care, then we won't worry about it. But if you're like, hey, I'm waiting on my link for this blank that you promised us and have not delivered, it's only because my feeble mind has forgotten it. And so please remind me. There we go. Oh, John's going to be doing an editing sprint with us. Hi, John. We are super, super excited. Leah, thank you for the win. It was the live stream schedule link. Okay, I'll do that on our next sprint. I'm writing it down this time, though, so it won't fly out of my brain the second we go to sprint. Various and sundry, very nice to see you. We're super glad you're here. Eva's here. Ashley, we're super glad to see you. I go to a lot of heart breathing sprints, but this is my very first time here. First of all, we all love Sarah. She's awesome. And she's just a delightful human being. I just love her to pieces. And we're so glad you're here. So thanks very much. We're very glad to see you. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, John just finished an 86,000 word novel. Congratulations. Very nice. Lainey is also editing today. Not happy about it. Lainey, I love editing. That's like my favorite part. I know though that a lot of authors do not like to edit. I think that like it's very right. A lot of people don't.
It's the best part.
It's the best part or the worst part.
No, it's the best part. I mean,
That's what I think.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I do think so because it's already done.
Right.
You're just making it better.
Right, and funnier and more poignant. And I know, but I do also understand like it's done. I don't want to look at it again. Like
Sure.
I completely get both. I completely get both perspectives on this. Ashley says, I'm going through my whole book and fixing the overused words and phrases. There are a lot of them. I suffer from that myself. Well, I think every author does. It gets easier once you know your sort of crutch words that you or crutch phrases that you regularly use. And then you can just search for I have a list of just stuff that I say all the time over and over again where I'm always like, oh, I have to make sure that there are not 800 of these in the book. Lainey says, I usually enjoy editing. This time kicking my bum. I totally feel that. I've had that happening. Prefer editing. Can't stand writing. Love that. Right. It's needed, but not fun. It's always funny to me, like when we have people that are like on two different sides of the equation for that. Avi loves editing, right? It is like self-help for your stories. That is a perfect way to put it. All right, with that, let's go ahead and move into our next sprint. We're going to put another 20 minutes up on the clock here. And here we go. All right, everybody. So I'm feeling really good about this sprint, and I think you are too. So let's make it happen. Here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's cha-cha. All right, we are back. Let me get rid of this little banner here. All right, so let me say, you guys, I could not find the link for Devin's playlist of all the writing sprints. And so if anybody else has it, please drop it in the chat. I'm going to keep digging around for it. I don't know what happened to it. Oops, I've got like some echo there. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I
So,
don't have it either. I'm sorry.
oh, I know we have it. I just can't. And they used to drop it in every week, but they're not here today, and so of course I like, you know, I'm not prepared that way. All right. So our next question that we're going to answer is, do you have any tips to write faster? I think this is a really good question. Robert's making a smiley face, so I'm going to let you start, Robert.
It depends on who you are, what you know, how well you know your story. Faster isn't always better. For most people, especially if you're just starting out, it's not.
I think that, so I will say, I think there's sort of a misconception that if you write fast that it's not good. And I do think that if you train yourself to write fast, that, or faster, that it can in fact be just as good. And in fact, I think all of us have had like that moment where you were really inspired or kind of in the zone, or you wake up in the middle of the night. I have done that, where I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm up for maybe 20 minutes, or it feels like 20 minutes, and I've written like 3,000 words, and it's perfect. Like you don't have to change a word of it in the morning. Of course, that's true for much, anything that wakes you up in the middle of the night to write almost always comes out like fully formed, right?
Yeah.
That's like the beautiful gift of writing sometimes, is like
I also
awesome.
think if it's your first draft, then of course, get your story down as fast as you like, because, getting it down, and then you have something to edit.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very true. Ashley has an emergency we've got to solve right away. She's at Starbucks for the first time in my life. What's good here food wise? I don't like coffee. I also don't like coffee, Ashley. So here's what you're going to order. I love I love the pink drink, which is like a coconut milk and strawberry. It's not super coconut. Like my daughter does not like coconut, but she loves the pink drink. It's a cold drink, and love it, love it, love it. And my favorite food items, if you're looking for something sweet, they have like a good chocolate croissant. I also really love the little ham and cheese croissant if you're looking for something a little more.
I like the egg bites. If
Oh yeah,
egg bites are really good.
the egg bites are delicious. That was my like go-to breakfast for a while. Like I went through a phase where I was having a pink drink and the egg bites every day.
Mm.
And yeah, so okay. Sorry, we had to do that. All right, tips to write faster is where we are now. Also, I did drop a link earlier, and it was it was related to Daisy's blah, 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 post comment about filing taxes today.
Mhm.
And I am such a super tax nerd. I love, like, I have one, my aunt is a former accountant, and her wife was a financial planner, and I am like a super nerd about author taxes and getting back every nickel. And so I did a video on this like several years ago, but I dropped it in since it is tax season. Speaking of which, Vixen's here. Hello. We are super, super glad to see you today. Lainey, I do a lot of pre-writing in my head in the shower while I'm falling asleep. By the time I sit down to write, it seems fast, but it's really after a ton of mental work. That is such a good tip too, because there are a lot of times when you can think about the story, especially if you have kids, right? Spend a lot of time at the playground and the school pickup line and all that stuff, where if you can just think or make some notes on your phone, that you're absolutely right. If you're doing the thinking stuff ahead of time, then the actual writing part of it goes a lot faster. John says, don't get any Starbucks food ever. John, I feel like I want to ask you why, but then there's another part of me that's like, please don't ruin my Starbucks. Okay, so thank goodness, not thank goodness. I'm very sorry that we still don't have a 9 a.m. Eastern live stream, but we will try and track one down for you if anybody else knows. That was what we were looking for. Okay, so I couldn't find it either, and I thought maybe I was losing my mind. And that's probably why we haven't seen Devin for a while. Huh. Horror geek. What? What? He just doesn't like it. You quit your whining. You know what he does like though? He likes the panini. No trouble out of you, horror geek. Yes, it is. The refreshers are also very good. I'm not sure if it counts as a refresher, but it's in the same family. It's cold, it's fruity, it's delicious. It does not have any caffeine in it though, and I think some of the refreshers do have caffeine if you're looking for that. All right. John, don't make me sad. It's still good. The egg bites, I actually thought about that. I thought surely they're just frozen, but I tried like every egg bite variety that I could possibly find, and they were not as good. And then I bought an egg bite maker. Like it's just like it sort of looks like a little mini waffle iron with 4 little cups in it, but it's so labor intensive because I like goodies in mine that I did like I just bought the ones from Starbucks. So Regina, I don't know what this comment is related to, but it's so freaking hilarious. You're trying dictation, which can be a really excellent way.
That is a good way to. Yep.
It is. Yeah, it's a very good way to speed up your your writing. That is absolutely the truth. And it is kind of like you will have to do more editing afterwards because you'll end up with a lot of homonym abuse or homophone abuse and just some weird stuff in there. But it is fast. It can be really, really fast. I actually this is kind of funny. I actually dictated part of my self-help book because when I drive to go pick my daughter up from school, it's like a really long, lonesome stretch of road and straight and trees and me, and that's it. And so it's a good place to like dictate when you've got some thoughts.
I'm editing a chapter that I dictated today, and there's a lot of weird stuff in there.
Ashley is right. The egg bites are delicious. Yes.
Made egg bites are great.
They really are.
Very easy too.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. All right. Leah says, one time I switched my font to Comic Sans and it unlocked my drafting brain in a wild way. I think it helped me take it less seriously as a chronic perfectionist. I have heard that Comic Sans tip many times and people swear by it. So and also as sort of a cure for writer's block if you're struggling with what to write. And I don't know if it's because that's just such a horrible font or if it's because it reminds you of your crazy aunt or you're like, I don't know why it works, but I do know that many, many writers swear by it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic. Everybody loves egg bites. Ashley says I'm here to write, but I figured I should order something.
They do prefer that.
Yay. Good for you, Regina. Oh, that's probably, I totally forgot. I wonder if Devin's channel is still unblocked or still blocked. I bet that it. On time. What? Nice.
Very good.
Is that tax info about writing? The video that I posted in the chat earlier is a video about about a lot of the fabulous deductions that authors can take, or writers too. Actually, works just the same, or designers actually. But it's just a lot of tax deductions that you don't want to leave on the table, and a lot of authors think that if they're not making any money yet from their books, that they can't deduct things like their laptop that you bought to write or your whatever. They think that you cannot deduct during the ramp up stage of you building your career, and that is absolutely not true. So there we go. Let's see. John says that's the only way to do it. I do it too. Think of the story while I walk the dog, do something else. So John is on the Laney plan for sure.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. Lainey says there are sprints on Clubhouse a lot. So if you're a member of Clubhouse writers on the storm, they're almost always sprinting over there. How to write faster, FAS. Michelle does have a great video on how to write faster. We should definitely,
you.
yeah. The horror geek likes the mint juleps. Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that one. Not even. There is, I know there is an author's, there used to be, I was looking for that too, the author spreadsheet of all the different sprints. I could not track that stuff down. It does sound like John has Starbucks drama. This is a safe space. So very, very nice. Very nice. Devin loves the spinach thingy. Love that. Fantastic. All right. Maz says, I've thought about dictation due to disability, but it takes a while to understand you and it's quite a pain. I should try it again. I will say I use the dictation app that Michelle suggested because I had that same problem as well. And I do not anymore. And it was I think it was free with like a cheap upgrade. It was like $5 or some $10 maybe. What's the one, Michelle, that you recommended that we have?
The one I use is
It's
annoyingly
literally called Dictate, right?
Dictate, which makes it hard to find on the App Store.
Yeah.
I had tried, what's the one everybody talks about? Dragon? It's expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. Dragon. I did not find that effective.
I had a glitch with Dragon, and I found out it was because it's not really a Mac friendly app.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
and they don't tell you that until after you buy it.
yeah, I had to cancel.
It's really, I know I had to do the same thing. So I'm not doing a very good job here. Actually, here, I'm going to go full screen for a second. There we go. Oop. All right. See this? Wait, go right. Right there. That one. It's called Dictate. That's what the logo looks like. Okay. Hold on. We're going back to everybody else. All right. So that's it. But that's it. It's just called Dictate with a cobalt blue background and sort of an aqua squiggly line. But oh my gosh, so helpful. And the upgrade was really cheap. It was like $5, but it's totally worth it. And you can drop audio files in there and it will do the transcript for you, which is super helpful. Could you imagine dictating a murder mystery in a grocery store, but no one knows you're an author?
Be pretty funny.
She walked into the. I love it, love it, love it. I'm so glad that there are people keeping it up too. That we're talking about the spreadsheet of all the author sprints. Yeah. Yep. Very nice. What? Okay, John. We have a celebrity here. I'm banned worldwide for a short story I wrote. Long story about it all. And I wrote an LGBT satire I published. Okay, there we go. Regina is having better results on Mac Air by turning on the voice control in settings if you haven't done that already. Cool. Kat says Rachel and Jules have been keeping up Devin's thing. All right, fantastic. Well, if anybody, good. So Avi's got. Actually, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, that's my video. Thank you.
Oh, good. Yay! Thanks so much. Perfect. Ma says I'm thinking about getting the up-to-date Dragon Dictate software. I don't have them out still. I found I definitely need to be alone to talk out loud. I did a thing where I was floating in my pool every day, like while I was trying to finish a book, floating in my pool every day, dictating. And that was like the most peaceful, authory thing ever. It felt great. And I haven't done it since because it got cold, but it is we went to the beach yesterday. It's starting to get warm again. I'm very happy about that. All right. Fantastic. Probably need someone with a wrench to share the link. Here, Vixen, I'm going to make... I can't put you... I'll have to go over to YouTube. All right. Let's do this. We are going to go ahead and head over to do another sprint, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about writing faster before heading out. Kat, I'm going to make you a wrench as soon as we go to the sprint. So let me go ahead and do that now. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you know what I did? I lost our video. Hold on. I lost our timer. Let me pull that up real quick. You'd think this was my first time, but no. All right, here we go. Well, it started without us. Trying this again. Hold on, everybody. Let's do a countdown. Ready? We're going to do our very last sprint, and it's going to be awesome. Here we go. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. You've got this. All right, we are back. Let me get rid of the screen there. There we go. All right, fantastic. How'd everybody do on that last sprint?
Not bad.
Chapter at last.
Hey.
Yay! Yay! Vixen's like sprint. There we go. All right. So I made you guys both a wrench. So thank you very much for dropping those in. Here is the tiny URL to share for the AuthorTube playlist. Very nice. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Vixen. Yeah, very nice. Very nice, guys. Hello, Ms. Swift. Cheers to you. We're very glad you're here today. All right. So before we go today, I hope you guys had really great writing sprints today. One more fast writing tip before we go from everybody as you are doing your outro. So you have one ready to go, or do you want me to do mine first and give you a little time?
I'm ready.
All right, Michelle. Michelle, it is. All right, here we go.
Hi,
Outro
Michelle.
and writing tip. Sorry.
Oh, outro writing tip. Outro and writing tip. Writing tip is summarize your scene before you draft it. Just get all the mechanics out and don't worry about prose, and then go back and rewrite for prose. It sounds like it's going to take you longer. It'll make it faster, I promise. I'm Michelle Schusterman. I write young adult and middle grade novels, and my channel is writing workshops, traditional publishing chat, and writing blogs.
Yay! You did it. Very nice job. Robert, fast writing tip, outro.
Well, dictation being the best, but I would say write at your own speed because everybody is different. 1,000 words in an hour could be just fine for some people, whereas 500 words might be better for others. So figure out what works for you, because most of the fast writing tips that I've read, and there are several books on it by people who want to make $1 million by putting out 1 million books, and most of it's crap. Or just says dictate.
Dictate it is. So I will say that you can train yourself. My writing tip is that fast writing tip is that you can actually train yourself to write faster. I actually did this where I went from my like speed. If I'm not, if I'm just writing every day, usually about 3K a day is kind of my go-to. However, I was able to train myself to write 5,000 words a day just by adding like 5 or 10%. So every week I'd be like, okay, this week my goal is to write 3,100 words a day. And I just kept adding like I can't remember what it was. I think it was every month I aimed to add an extra, like up by 10%.
Yeah.
And by like over the course of about 5 months, I was able to just raise my writing speed. So that is my little tip. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published and indie published author. And on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. And of course, I write romantic comedy and nonfiction advice. Thank you all so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much to our newcomers. We're very glad to see you. And of course, our crew, like our OG crew who are always with us every week. Thank you guys very much for always showing up. We love you, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Everybody, keep those keyboards clacking.
Yay.